All right, everybody. If you can hear me, let me adjust my microphone a little bit. I am playing BMX Air Master tonight for the Atari 2600 on my Atari 7800 Pro system. I see Linda the Gamer Girl's here. Welcome, Linda. I don't think you've been in a live stream recently, so welcome back. I do recall you stopping by before, so really cool to have you stop by. And I see that we have a few other people. This is a very last minute thing. I'm actually doing this for one reason is because I got a new AV to HDMI converter, and this one allows me to use the original aspect ratio. So I wanted to see how it worked and how it looked. So let me know what you guys think, and also let me know how the sound is, if the sound is balanced okay or not, if my talking is too soft, too loud, or what have you. So this, let's do arcade and we'll do standard. This is a very late release for the 2600. It was done originally by TNT Games, and I think Atari, yes, Atari actually did it too. So it's a trick game. And if I could get my speed up, there we go. You could do different tricks. I'm trying to remember all the tricks. It's been a while since I played it. And in between rounds, I will get to any comments or questions. Let's see. How do I... Will that bounce me? There we go. Bouncing. Yes. See, KGB is here, Nicholas is here, and New World Man is here. I see that out of the corner of my eyes. Ooh, I was trying to do a trick when I landed, and I turned into a puddle of goo. Really like the little sunset in the background. Ooh, and I crashed. I wiped out again. I think you get 5 lives. So there's 3 events in this game. And that's the first event, the half pipe. So let's see, hidden gems on the 2600. Listen to this rockin' music while I look at my list real quick to see what I would consider some hidden gems. Good thing I write this stuff down. See, a lot of these are, I don't know that I would consider them. Junior Pac-Man, I don't know if you consider that a hidden gem. Beam Rider, Wizard of War, those might not be hidden gems. Private Eye, if you have the time for it, it's a little bit of learning curve. I recommend that. Roadrunner is a really good game. It was a late release. Frankenstein's Monster is another one. Alien, it's like a Pac-Man game. And what else? Tapper. Fantastic Voyage. That's another good one. Fantastic Voyage. So there's some other ones that I could recommend beyond that, but those would be my top ones. Try that on a real bicycle. Yep. Dan's here too. Yep, Dan, we're doing something a lot easier than Room of Doom. We're doing BMX. So in this event, you just get, I think it's 3 attempts to do tricks. So the way you pull off tricks is the 4 main directions of the joystick with a button without. So there's 8 things you could do. Pressure cooker is another good one. I haven't reviewed that one. Yeah, it does. This does feel like something that it actually is like a cross. It's like a cross between the BMX event and the skateboard event in California games. So this one is another, I think, 3 and done, and then you go back to the half pipe. So as long as you land right, you're fine. Frostbite, that's another good one. Worm War 1, I've not had the pleasure of playing that yet. I think I have a copy, though. So, yeah, I should say, let me correct myself. I've probably played it a few times, Worm War 1, but not in depth. There's a lot of games where when I buy them, I test them, I try them out for like a minute or less. And then we go back. This game has some really good music. Let's see if I could do some pose and tricks. The pose and tricks are what you do when you hold down the button. So, like that, I kicked out my foot. That was hard to see. I think it's funny that your wheels kind of look like Ritz crackers. Just don't be doing a trick right when you land. That's the one thing. Oh no. That was like a slow motion 360. Oh, I got it just in time. So this, if you just are joining me, I'm using a new AV to HDMI converter. So, my Elgato HD did come with like cables that I could attach, RCA style cables, but sometimes what would happen is the screen would blur, or I'd have some problem with live streams with sprites disappearing, which these don't necessarily take care of that sprite disappearing thing, as we discovered with Pac-Man when I tried to live stream that. Why do you smell shampoo? Okay, I don't know. Room of Doom lived up to his name. Yep. Louie's here. Another 2600 game I didn't know about. You're putting my Atari knowledge to shame. Just you wait. Oh, it's the air freshener. That's good. I have no idea where that conversation came from. So anyways, this converter box I have allows me to use the original aspect ratio. So I want to know in the comments, if you've been watching my live streams, what you prefer. Do you prefer this, where it's the original ratio? Because now I can actually do the original ratio if this holds up, which I think it will. This box feels cheaper than the other one, but if it works, it works. Or do you prefer having the screen filled out so the ratio's not original, but it's more of a widescreen format? So let me know. Pikachu's here. Ryan's here. Hello, hello. Pirate Gamer Boy's here. So let me know which ratio you prefer for future reviews and live streams. Where am I? I landed backwards. That's awesome. Oh, that was a nasty wipeout. So I got one vote for the original ratio. I know some people are like either or, I really don't care. But I'd like to know your preference, even if it's just like a little bit of a preference. So got another original. Looks a little sharper. Well, they don't stretch it out, so that might be it. So is that Cut-A-Man? Welcome. RM's here. Original. So it looks like everyone is voting for original, not extra tasty crispy. Just trying to confuse anyone who just joined in, think we're talking about KFC. Speaking of KFC. Oh no, I just broke my neck. Did you see me? I hit the back of my head on the edge. Anyway, speaking of KFC, they used to have, what was it? Was it Georgia Gold? And I really liked that. It was like a honey kind of touch. They also had Nashville Hot. They introduced them at the same time. And when my family gets KFC, when my family gets KFC, they like to get original dark meat, and I'm a white meat guy, but I rather eat it like boneless. Okay, I'm more of a boneless guy, if that makes sense. So sometimes I would rather just get tenders. But when they had that Georgia Gold, oh, that was so good. And just peeking over at the stream, it looks like everything's coming across nice and clear. Ooh, I wiped out. So the capture card, it's not a new capture card, but it's a new HDMI converter that I'm using in conjunction with my capture card. Because for some reason, the adapter to use composite cables with my capture card, sometimes I get blurriness when things are moving fast that I don't care for. And sometimes I've had sprites disappear on live streams. I don't know if this will actually do anything about it. I've heard some people think it will. Yes, there is. How's this game work? There is. Okay, well, let me correct myself. There's a timer for the first event. The second two events, they're 3. They're just 3 attempts. So this one, I get 3 attempts, and that's it. Oh, that should have counted. The McDLT. Yes, I remember that. That came in like the styrofoam container where one half was on one side and the cold half was kept on the cold side, back when they used all styrofoam. Let's see, KFC used to sell barbecue, which was just extra crispy, dipped in barbecue sauce. Still tasted great. Yep, hot side hot, cold side cold. I remember that. I have a KFC monitor completely unrelated to the chicken company. That's great. Oh, that was the end of my game. Okay, so let's try this again. So I actually did work at McDonald's. It was like my first kind of part-time job during high school and a little bit in I think when I went to college I stopped working there because I wasn't going to come home and work there. So can I get to the edge? There's a way I could get to the edge. How do I do it? Let's try flipping this way. Ooh. Wow, I almost didn't do that. Oh, I was holding the button down. So it's kind of like Skate or Die. Yeah, the event. The colors are nice in this game. Is there any difference between the original version and the Atari rebranded? No, they're the same game. Except the Atari version here in the US is a lot more valuable because they didn't make a lot of them. So let's see. We have 5 Guys. Still haven't tried it yet. I went to 5 Guys and people raved about it before I went. And I went to it and I was like, it's okay. It's good. It didn't rock my world. It didn't like a revelation in flavor. But it was fine. So this event is timer based and you can hear that it's about to end. Let's see. So anyways, the cheddar melt at McDonald's, did they have like onions on it or something like that, I want to say, in like a cheddar sauce instead of cheese? So anyways, there was a sandwich that they just came out with while I was working at McDonald's, and we got to give it a taste test. I remember it was the only time it ever happened while I was working there. They called all the workers to the little side room where they usually held the birthday parties for the kids. And they had us taste the Arch Deluxe. So this was a new sandwich. It was a burger, and the goal was to have a more sophisticated adult taste. So it had a little. It was interesting. It had a special sauce to it. I forget. I think there was some pepper. I don't know if it was like a mayonnaise-based sauce. I'm not a big mayo fan unless it's mixed with something. So anyways, and it had this circular, perfectly formed piece of bacon, like a circle of bacon that fit on it. And I thought it tasted great. When broke another neck and a bike, great. That'll cost. I thought it tasted really good. I was a big fan of it. I really enjoyed it. I got it when I worked at McDonald's. I forget what it is. I think if you worked 4 hours, you got a sandwich, a small fry, and a drink. Any sandwich you wanted. And I would get the Arch Deluxe a lot, but unfortunately it bombed as far as sales go terribly. Absolutely terribly. So it didn't last long, much to my chagrin. And that was that. Oh, ooh, I almost saved myself. Almost saved myself. So, unfortunately, it's not one of those things that are ever going to have a revival, I don't think. But one thing I like to do at McDonald's when I worked there is I would get a Barks root beer in my little small cup, and I'd put just a squirt of vanilla milkshake, and it gave it gave a nice root beer float flavor to it. I really, really like that. Let's see. Let's look at some of the comments while I'm, waiting for the medics to come rescue me. Let's see. Do I consider any of the Froggo 2600 games to be at least decent? Yeah, sure. Spider Droid is just Amadar, which is a decent game reskinned. Let's see. The Gangster Alley. What was that called? Task Force. That was okay. So, and I think Sequest I haven't played yet, and there's Seahawk, and they're not the worst, they're not the best. They're just, all the 2600 Froggo games were just games that were released on the 2600, sometimes out of the country, just reskinned or renamed. Karate is terrible. The Karate's terrible. Let's see. Original rye bread, melted cheddar, grilled onion. The 1987 version was the best. The last of the... Well, I didn't remember that, so I was thinking of the latest, which he said is not so great. Oh, good. You despise mayonnaise as well. Let's see. I cooked at McDonald's in Florida. Nothing worse than when the bus is full of people pulled off. Yes, I remember having the buses, especially when you're short-staffed. I worked a cash register. I was a cashier guy. Anything with mayo ruins it for me. See, I had to buy my own food when I worked at Wendy's. Should have worked at McDonald's. RP is here. Welcome. Threw a lot of food away. Yeah, that happens. That's part of it. I always loved the Egg McMuffin. Hate again there. It's a bummer that the pandemic ended breakfast all day. We also have Culver's. I've heard of them. I've never tried them. Keon's here. Welcome. Chopper command hack using Sequest sprites. Nerd cereal rules. Rages here. Hash browns. Fan of the hash browns. Yeah. Smurfberry cereal out of nowhere. I also remember only one time, I got a Happy Meal display. You know those things they put in the little plastic dome to advertise the Happy Meal toys. And I went on my way to get it because it was for the movie Babe, the Talking Pig, which at the time I was like, this movie's awesome. Me and my buddies went to see it, and I'm like, this is actually a really good movie. And I was justified in that because the thing got nominated for an Academy Award that year. So Babe, just the original Babe, That'll Do Pig, I was a fan of that movie. And so I got the Happy Meal display. Had little fake haystacks. And I remember they did a Power Rangers toy that was like super popular. People would come in just to buy the toy, which you could do. You could buy them separately. I forget what it cost back then, like $1.25 or something, but you could just buy the toy if you wanted. And honestly, that's the only two toys off the top of my head I can remember in the Happy Meals while I worked there. Because as you guys know, the best toys came out in the 80s, like those changeables, those Transformer meal things. Come Chia's here, welcome. Oh yeah, you had to watch those training tapes. Yeah, the wasted food thing is a bummer. There's some health thing. I wish there's something that you could do, but I think it's a fear too that if you gave the old food to someone and they got sick, then they could sue you. I wish there was some waiver or something you could do. Oh, bought Happy Meals for the Pokemon toys. The BMX, this one, HGK is saying, too bad the BMX cart is so pricey. It shouldn't be unless the price... Now, there's been a lot of inflation, so things have changed. So let me see. I'm going to go to price charting right now to see how much this is. The Atari brand one is insane. But the regular one, they're saying right now, you could get it loose for $13, complete for $15. So almost the same price. It's risen a little bit over the past year. It used to be about $10 and now it's about $13, $14. It's a pretty decent, it's not too expensive. Remember, oh yes, 101 Dalmatians. I think we were there. And there was actually 101 toys and you just got a whole thing of them. I did stream Circus Convoy. I might do it again at some point. Let's see. Babe is great. Saw it at the drive-in. It was a adult feature with Kid and King Author's Court. You don't recommend. I think I have that on. I bought this 10 DVD collection at Walmart for $5. It was like family movies. And not 10 DVDs, I should say 10 movies. But I bought it because it had The Wizard, that Nintendo movie on it. And that's why I got it. I also remember those toys that came in like VHS boxes for Disney. I want to say. Oh, right now the cheapest card on eBay is $30. That's a bummer. Well, just wait. I'm sure one cheaper will pop up soon. Yeah, Dan, I did. If you want, you could go back. I actually did do a live stream of it. So far, this new capture card is a hit. Using the original aspect, and it looks like it's giving me what I want. So I may stick with it. Oops. Ooh, somehow I went backwards. I have to remember how I go forwards. The power glove. Yep. Let's see, can I bounce here? Did I do it? I didn't do it right. There's a way to bounce and I forgot. Soul's here, welcome. And these goings down, is it? In these going downs, I can speak is here, yes. This is one of the last releases. I don't know if the Dukes of Hazzard game is related to this or not. I don't know. I'm really not familiar. It's possible, but I don't know the story behind the engine, the development, because this came out, of course, afterwards, so Dukes would have came first. Yes, this music is really good. Oh, that should have counted. So I'll do another few minutes of this before I call it a night. 2 Atari 7800s and a 4-port 5200. 5200's one system I don't have yet. So I posted a video about the Amico today because they did a press conference. And wow, is the Amico... What's the word when you're either hot or cold on something? It is a hot button issue. Because right out of the gate, shortly after I posted it, I got 5 dislikes in a row, which I usually get maybe, 2 or 3 dislikes a video, which is fine. I mean, you can't please everybody. But that was just... And then all of a sudden, some of the comments, man, there were some people that just... And I'm really kind of neutral on the Amico. I don't like what the price point going up. I understand, but I don't care. I don't like it. I think it's a little much. And originally it was going to come with more games than just 6. Broke my skull, my forehead. So there's things about it I don't like, but there's things I do like, I mean, I am a retro fan. I do want it to do well. Because it makes good games, and I'm interested in some of the remakes, the Earthworm Jim. There's going to be a Burger Time, interested in that. Interested in the new Cloudy Mountain. Stuff like that. But there were just people who were just hating on it just to hate it. And when I tried to communicate with them, they just wouldn't listen to anything. It was just really bizarre. Like one person said it's a scam, and I'm like, how's it a scam? How's them coming out with this? Well, they're just taking all this money, and what, he's going to keep it? WWJD's here. Welcome. Have I done California games? I've reviewed it, but I haven't done it. Another person is neutral on the Amico. But what I don't understand is just the unbiased hate, because when I try to talk to someone about, I really don't think Tommy is trying to scam people out of money. I've heard him on the Intellivision Amico podcast. Dude really grew up with Intellivision, big fan of it. I'm sure he wants it to do well. I'm sure he wants it to be successful. I don't know if it will be successful, but I really doubt his plan is to take a few $1 million and, go to Mexico or something and retire. So I don't think it's a scam, but people are calling it a scam. I don't get it. And I said, well, do you have any proof that it's a scam? Well, Tommy, he lucked his way into music. No musician respects him. I'm like, wait, what? Nobody. When you tried to ask for, like, why do you believe that? You just get emotional responses. So it's very, very interesting to me just how this Amico hasn't come out yet and people are already picking sides. And there's people who love the Amico who've never touched it, who already think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And to me, that's a little, wait until it comes out and let's see. Maybe it will be. Maybe it'll be awesome. Maybe it'll be the best thing since sliced bread, and maybe it'll be no better than a toaster. I don't know until it comes out. But it's just amazing how some people make a decision, pass judgment on it without any facts to support it, and just have to go and insane one way or the other. It makes no sense to me, but that goes on in other areas as well. So that's my gripe for the day, I guess, my rant. Let's see if I can... Ooh, I did something. There's a way to get over. And then there's a way to fail like that. Let's see. Let's see, what did I miss in the thing? So GoTo wants an Amico. I just started getting into later 2600 releases. Amazed what they could squeeze out of it. Yeah, it really is. California Games is another good one. Well, Pikachu talks about how it's confusing. Watch my review and it tries to explain it. I did review this game. You ever see people see the original 2600 music some people have made on here? Very trippy and primitive, I'm sure. Don't lick the like button. That's not sanitary. Likes Burger Time. Same people probably hated the VCS. There are a lot of people who said the VCS was a scam, that it would never come out. And it's not out now. It is out. Whether people really dig it and think it's worth the money, your miles might vary on that. Some people are excited about it. Some people might be lukewarm, but it wasn't a scam. It did come out. So nobody expected to see Earthworm Jim on the Intellivision. That is very interesting that Earthworm Jim is going to be there. Let's see. Thought it looked neat. What's my favorite version of Burger Time? Right now, Burger Time Deluxe, which I just reviewed for the Game Boy. That's really good and it controls very well. Too bad it's not in color. XJ's not interested in the Amico, wondering how it will do. It exists for people who want it. No different than the original television or ColecoVision. You like it, you get it. You don't, you don't. Maybe they are bots. I don't think they're bots. I think they're just people who, I don't know, get emotional. Have you ever heard or played Princess Rescue? Yeah, I've seen it. I haven't played it. It's a scam the same way someone who starts up a family restaurant is starting out to make some product is a scam. Yeah, people who are saying it's a scam, they're just trying to drag others down. Yeah, it is kind of nonsense. If I was independently wealthy, I'd get it. How do you do the tricks in the game? Okay, so when you're in the air, you can press up, down, left, or right to do the like twirlies and flip the bike, or you can hold the button and do up, down, left, and right to do a pose, like stick your foot out or let go of the handlebars, which is hard to see on the 2600. It's pretty expensive, but people pay stupid money for overpriced Apple products, so don't start the Apple war here. Zippy the Porcupine for the 2600. I've heard of that. I haven't played it. Bought a Pac-Man plug-and-play for $20 just so I could play Super Pac. Internet drama is everywhere. That's so true. I think I'll pass on the Miko for now, but I apparently will have a remake of B-17 Bomber, which you adore. Wood Grain or Darth Vader. I'm a Wood Grain person now, but back in the day I would have been Darth Vader. It's amazing. When I was a kid, I hated Wood Grain, and now that I'm older, I think it's cool. Bomber Crew for the Switch. PC feels like a P-17 bomber with RPG elements. Mr. Postal. He's been on the Founders Edition Amico since the start. I hope it's successful, but who knows? I'm sure that I'll enjoy it with my kids, even if only for a short time. Yeah, I mean, part of me kind of wishes I would have got a Founders Edition just because of the perks that came with it, and I don't know if the price, you know, I could have got the wood grain then. Now, if you go to you could still get the wood grain at the Intellivision site, but it's going to cost you, I want to say $30 more just to get the wood grain color. Is the Intellivision Amico related to Mattel Electronics in any way? No, because Mattel sold the Intellivision name. Keith Robinson owned it for a while, INTV Corp, and now Tommy, I believe, owns the Intellivision name. So they're part of the history, but they are not connected anymore. Ladybug came to the 2600. Yep, I saw the Jack Black and Pitfall. I have a Miko reserved. If it does well, great. If not, I can sit on the shelf next to my Hyperscan. That's awesome. What a great take. Love the hyperscan, by the way. I would like to try the hyperscan. I know it's like kind of clunky and can be buggy, but I like quirky things like that. All right, let's keep going. Now, I think I got caught up with most of the comments I needed to get caught up with. So here's the, so that was left on the controller. This is right. I'm going to show you the tricks. Back and forth the pedal while with the buttons held down. This is up. This is down. So it flips one way, flips the other. Now let's do the poses. Hold the button. That's left. That's right. No, that was reverse. Yeah, that was right then left. Up, down. Those are the poses. You can see me like moving my things. And now I'm doing flips. Ooh, and I wiped out. Got the Intellivision for He-Man, but there are other good games. He-Man is fun on that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the Magic games. The problem is with a lot of the games they announced, we haven't seen anything. We haven't seen any of the Magic games. We haven't seen the new Burger Time. We haven't seen the new Tempest or anything else. So it'll be interesting to see. I hope that they come out. So let's see. Let's try this again. Oops. Ooh, wow, that worked. Let's see, I forget how to bounce off the thing, and I did it once. There I go. Now I'm going to bounce. Ooh, and then I crashed. Let's see. The Fox game is called Finnegan Fox, and it does look interesting. Demon Attack is your favorite Magic game. It's one of mine too. I like Fathom too, but that takes a little while to get used to. Yes, well, they announced that early on that they were going to license some Atari games. So Breakout was an early one that they announced, Missile Command, and they talked about Tempest. It's too bad they didn't announce a new adventure. Oh my goodness, would that make me a happy camper if they said, hey, we have a new adventure game coming. And I definitely think that they should have oh, the Numb Club, the Numb Thumb Club. I remember that. I definitely think that they should have went for a remake of Haunted House. I think that could have been something cool. I just wish people, when it came to things like the Atari VCS, when it came to things like the Intellivision Amico, that people would just kind of take a wait and see approach and not become super duper mega fanboys without ever touching one, or become super mega duper haters. But I guess it kind of goes back to even the old days between like Sega and Nintendo. Are you a Nintendo person or a Sega person? It's just sad that sometimes in the retro gaming community, people become divided over opinions. Yep, you could get patches with Activision. And the Thumb Club, I don't think you got patches, but there was like a newsletter and you could get posters. And yes, they had some great box art. Let's just do a wimpy jump and see what happens. Wow, that was a pretty high jump. I like Venture, not on the 2600 so much because you're so small, but I enjoyed it on the Intellivision. I thought Venture on the Intellivision was really good. Let's bounce. Like that little whistle sound. Al's here. Welcome, Al. Speaking of Al, Weird Al's great. That is all. So I think I'm going to close up shop soon and finish reading the comments. I was just going to do this for a half an hour tonight. Let's see. Let's do a couple of these, couple of these. A backwards landing. Let's do the poses. And just a bunch of flippy doos. And crash. And I'm a glowing puddle of something. So let's see. PC versus console is a big one I see on Twitter nowadays. I love my desktop, but I like my Switch. Hey, whatever. You know, whatever you enjoy. I've played some computer games. I tend to like consoles. It's just easier to operate, plug and play. Sometimes computers give you issues. I have a Founders Edition Atari VCS with the walnut grain. Got it way back in January. Afraid to open it, though. Wow, the serial number is so low. Very cool. Cosmic Ark, like Noah's Ark, where there's a great flood which wiped out everything on planet Earth. But it was also a holiday themed and for children. Yeah, there was a girl who we went to church with, and she thought it was interesting that people that in the nursery that you would have pictures of Noah's Ark, because she was thinking of the flood and all the lives that would have been lost, you know, that were lost, and like, you know, that side of it is not as kid friendly. Cosmic Ark is really great though. It goes from, if you know the story, Atlantis, the game, at the end of Atlantis, a little ship, when the planet is destroyed, a little ship takes off, and Cosmic Ark is that ship going from planet to planet, gathering other life that's endangered. So it's kind of like a Noah's Ark story, so that they can take it to a planet and make a new planet. So they're saving like endangered life, I believe it is. So they're not just kidnapping. Love the two main Ataris, the 2600 and 7800. Venture on the ColecoVision is great. Whoa, sometimes the chat jumps on me when I'm trying to read it. And it just did, especially when I'm back. Let's see. Atari 8-bit computer. 400 was your first. Al met Weird Al, that's awesome. My friend had a backstage pass to meet Weird Al, goes up to Weird Al. This was when I was in college. Said, Weird Al, you're my hero. And Weird Al looks at him and says, I'm sorry. I thought that was hilarious. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you've been enjoying my Game Boy reviews. Unfortunately, they have not been garnering great numbers compared to some of my other reviews. I'm guessing that it's because, you know, I do a lot of Atari stuff, and I've been dipping into Nintendo because I had the Super Nintendo out, and so probably my core audience is more Atari centric. So when I do other systems, they're not as excited, but I'm a gamer. I like them all. Dan has his 400 and two 800s and a 1200 XL and a 600 XL and a 800 XL, 65 XE, 130 XE, a Zegas, a 1040 ST. TK's here. Welcome. Have I ever done a video on Miner 2049er? I haven't. I'm not familiar. I know of the game, but I never played it as a kid. I do have that and the sequel, and I have it for the 8-bits as well. Oh, they planned a sequel to Cosmic Arc 2. I wonder if that would have been like, you know, landing on your planet and trying to cultivate it or something. Let's see, my 2049er had some bizarre ports on Japanese computers. Can't find a ColecoVision in Mexico. Garrett's here. When did this come out? This is, let's see, let's go back to the title screen because I'm going to end. Let's see. Copyright 89. This is a copyright 89. Bally Astrocade. Yeah, Zegas is just a nickname for the XEGS. That's one way I've heard people pronounce the XEGS as Zegas. It's kind of like the SNES. Some people call it the sneeze or the SNES. Thank you for the compliment, TK. Yeah, very familiar with the XE. Currently playing the 1987 Naval Sim PHM Pegasus on the Apple II, which I have in a real box. I love older computers and most of classic gaming. That is really cool. That is really cool to do that. I have an 800 XL. I wanted to get the XE. I really did. And one time I bought one on eBay for a great price after looking for a long time. And then the seller backed out and said, nah, I want more money. But it was a buy it now. They put it up there. And I snatched it as soon as I saw it. And I was like, that stinks. That was awful. So I had a chance. But from what I understand, the XE isn't as built as well as some of the older ones. So you might have more problems with it. So I'm glad I have an XL. But I still would like the XE. I like that gray with the pastels. It's just so quirky. Let's see. Yep, 2600 games were coming out when the NES and the 89's the year the Genesis came out. Oh, thanks, Robert. He got he picked up the Game Boy Burger Time Deluxe. That's very awesome. The Sunsoft version, they're both the same. Just the Sunsoft version won't have the Data East logo at the very beginning. That's the only difference, I think. Arcade Pilots here, welcome. He did an AV mod for 7800. Very cool. Zegas is Zegas. Heresy. XEGS. Are you happy? Game Builder Garage for the Switch. That's like where you make your own thing. Good night, Mr. Postile. Everyone is saying good night. I have a lot of XE games that came in the blue boxes. I actually have a video where I bought like 18 of them. So I have the majority because there wasn't that many. So 18 is like the majority. I don't have them all, but I just picked up Load Runner to add loose. So anyways, that is BMX Airmaster. That is a trial run of my new AV to HDMI converter so I could do the original aspect. And it seems like it's a hit. Seems like everyone likes that. So that I'll try and stick to the original ratios for my future reviews and streams. For some of them, they were stretched out. But now I'll go back to the aspect of this. If this holds out, if it works, I'll have to use it some more to make sure. Anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Thanks for watching. Click like and subscribe. Follow me Facebook and Twitter. I think I'm going to give away a Mr. Bean Matchbox car soon on Twitter. So if you're interested in that, that'll be a US thing. Because that car, you know, to ship it across out of the States would be way too crazy price for just a little car. But anyways, I'll be doing that over on Twitter. So follow me over there and you can support the show on Patreon. Thanks again, everybody. I'm going to end the stream now. I'll say goodbye in the chat as well. Have a good night.